rabbits everywhere. There's another rabbit. There's 2 or 3 of them. Hey, buddy. That'd be a pretty rabbit. Hi. That is a big rabbit. Hi. Man, this rabbit is just hanging around the house this morning. Now he's just kind of sitting here chilling. He's not fazed by me. He don't want to get too close. Maybe it's a she. Hell, I don't know. I ain't gotten that close. But it's just chilling out. I was walking around and the rabbit was, I came down the steps of the house and the rabbit was about 5 feet from me and then took off running. Didn't want to get too close to me. Just for the longest. Good morning, my friends, or good day, whatever time it is when you watch this video. I'm trying to get this inspection done. So I get an email in my junk folder this morning, first thing, like really early, saying it didn't approve, not approved because there was no framing inspection. I'm like, I called for this. So I get up to the house, I get the box out of the door, race to the back up to the county, you know, so the box was here if he showed up in the key. Go up to the county to clarify it. She goes, no, he'll be there. So then I'm coming back. I pass a building services truck on the main drag here. And I'm like, oh, dude, he's already been there. But I didn't see anything in the email. So I look in the junk. I said, he's already beat me here. Not approved again because there was no strapping and sheathing inspection on file. The guy had never even been to the house. He passed the address, never been to the house. So I called again. I said, well, I need to talk to Jamie. And she calls me back and goes, Jamie said he's coming to do that inspection. So he knows what's going on, you know. I said, okay. So there was another building services guy next to me. I thought it was him. I said, are you Mark? He goes, no, I'm Matt, but Mark will be up here in just a little bit. Okay. Not a problem. So apparently, maybe the guy now understands what's going on. I don't really know here. So let's just hope he shows up and let's hope and pray we can get this inspection done here today. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Hopefully we'll get it. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if we can get through this inspection. Indeed. God. Sitting here waiting for the inspector. Because they called me back and said he is coming back to actually do the inspection. I was like, I knew something was up when there was another email saying not approved because of strapping and sheathing. And I called and he hadn't even come by my house. Excuse me. These mosquitoes in my ear. He hadn't even come by the house. And it, you know, I could tell if the bag was open, especially where I set the key in the box. So I don't know what's going on with that, unless he's just going through and going, he's supposed to do that before that. So I think the head inspector or can't remember what his title is, but the guy I've been dealing with, Jamie, I'm pretty sure that Jamie Collins told him that what the deal was. And let's just hope and pray when he gets here that we're okay with everything. That's what's making, this is why I was nervous about this. There's always something. I know a lot of people go through this, but, you know, a lot of people hire contractors to go through this stuff and they do a certain order on that sort of thing. And this is a bit different, so. But be it that it may, I'm sitting here waiting. I just hope this guy comes on soon. I took my whole morning off of this and hopefully all goes well. We shall see. We shall see. Of course, I am getting an idea what it's like to kind of sit and hang out on the porch here in the morning. I've got a lot of rabbits around here, by the way. A ton of them. Good night. There's an orange rabbit. It's a bunch of gray ones. It must be 4 or 5 different ones. I've seen one bigger than this one I saw this morning. That rabbit was big. And I come down the steps, the rabbit was like 5 feet from me. Kind of looked at me and then ran off. Wasn't really fazed by me, but didn't want to get too close. Just kind of hanging out, laying in the yard, taking it all in. So I guess that's what rabbits do. We passed, and we're going on to insulation, baby. That guy was as cool as he could be. He said, man, you're only one of maybe two I've seen in the county is doing this. He said, you're pretty much one of the first. And he said, we're so used to the other things that I just didn't know what was going on. It's okay. He was apologetic about the confusion. I said, man, you're all good. I was like, no, it's okay. Thanks. Sorry for my part. But he opened the box up and he looked at everything. Speaking of that, I have not looked into it yet. Yeah, where he's got all his rough out. And we got all that done. So we're good. Yes, we're good. Thank God. So off to the next insulation. Here we go. All right, so a couple of things I've got to do here, and I did mention the last video. There's something I did. One I mentioned about the vent fan. I've got to put tape on that end. I've got to get the spray foam around the windows. And he said, you want to probably put some spray foam behind your power boxes just for the efficiency. And obviously, I knew about the caulk around the bottom plate of the floor to the floor using caulk, on the base plate, which is, we're going to do that. I just told him I didn't want to do any of that until I got clearance for this to go to that. And now that you remind me, I definitely have to do that. But he told me, obviously, I've got to have that hand railing. He said, it's 5 steps, you're 1 step over. He said, normally I wouldn't see it was any problem to it, but it's code, and you need to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to have to obviously put a couple of more poles in the ground. Hate doing that. And build a railing, I'll figure out how to do that at some point, and figure something out. We'll figure that out at some point, not a problem. But he was impressed with the steps. He was like, man, those things were built great. That made me feel good when he said that. He goes, these things, I said, they're sturdy as the house. I said, that's what I like to hear. And he said, these steps ain't going anywhere. They're built great, man. He goes, you did a good job on that. He was as cool as he could be. He was talking to me about, his wife's from Texas. He said, they do a lot of this in Texas. He said, their laws out in the middle of nowhere in Texas, they're so lax. They let you do whatever you want. They don't care out there. I was like, y'all need to be more like Texas. He said, yeah, if we wasn't in a hurricane zone, it would probably be that. He said, with the growth here, we can't be that lax. But he was as cool as he could be. He walked around the house, made sure all the bolts were on there, looked at the plans. He knew it was all good. Listen, he didn't even get under the house. And, I thought maybe he would have looked, and he did a little bit, but that house is bolted down. It ain't going anywhere, so. Because I was like, man, that took some work getting this thing bolted down, but we got it done. But he was just trying to say as little as possible. And, I don't think that really was the case with this guy. It was pretty cool. And he's the same inspector. He works that area that has inspected the concrete. So I'll see him when he comes to do insulation. He's pretty much assigned to my property. We get insulation, and then we're off to the next inspection is the lighting fixtures. I have to get the sheetrock, mud tape, as I've said before, get the prime and paint, and then I call the electrician to do all the finishing. He said I do have to put the AC unit in there for electrical fixtures, and we'll get that done too. So once we get that done, and then it's finishing. So between now and February, we got to get it done, folks. That we do, and we will. And this pretty much is the start of it. Get the insulation done and go on to sheetrock. So other than that, we're all good. I've got to go now and get with the building materials people, get the insulation order. We're going to get that real quick done and get that started. And the next video you see from me, I'll have a Tyvek suit on and probably respirator or whatever, and be under the house doing insulation. When I do the insulation before it, I need to do some water sealing on my floor joists under the house, and we'll get that done as well. So other than that, I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Be good. Bye.